Welcome to the Modern Savvy CPA, where financial expertise meets the cutting edge of digital age. I'm Sharon, your host, a certified public accountant, here to guide you through the intricate web of numbers and regulations, offering a fresh perspective of the ever-evolving world of finance. So, money can be very overwhelming to handle. It can be very overwhelming to deal with. Just looking at the overall picture, you might not know where to start. So we've heard the idea, or we've heard the saying that says, keep it simple, stupid. So I am going to try to simplify 3 secrets that I personally use to manage my money to help me get a handle of what's going on in my financial life. So we're going to start with, I understand that, there are plenty of banks and brokerage companies out there that is a plethora of information, a plethora of platforms now. You wouldn't call it online banking as simple as the days 2 decades ago. It's not an online banking. It's an online banking platform. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of your respective online banking platform that your bank or your brokerage company has spent lots of money working on to help you to manage your money. So, that's a simple way of doing stuff instead of getting 5 million apps to help you in addition. So you start with those and then, you try to use those to help you. So to make sure that you're successful financially without spending hours and hours of handling or managing your money or money management, there are 3 simple things that I'm going to give you, we're going to talk about. So the first thing that I do is I automate everything. Everything I have is automated. I might have the pool guide that I send through my online banking, but it's an automated thing that comes out of my account every month. So I don't have to sit there like years ago and spend 2-3 hours writing my bills, keeping all these paper bills, then, having to, should I shred them? Should I store it away? What should I do with it? So I automate everything. So you might have to spend time at the beginning, whether it's your business, your personal, just getting all of your information in there and getting getting all of your vendors in there and putting everything in there. I even automate my savings, which we're going to talk about. I automate my retirement savings. I automate all my different pots of savings. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more later on. So this is one of the best moves I've ever made. Automating everything makes it so much easier for paying your bills. So I recommend this if you're an individual. I recommend this if you're young, you're old, you're in the middle. I recommend this for business management to have all these things automated. Of course, that doesn't mean you don't check on it. It just means that you don't have the repetitiveness of sitting there and having to figure it out and writing or whatever. All of the information, the address, the information, what you've paid before, all of that is already in your computer on your respective banking platform, your respective financial institution platform. So you just have to make sure that you're putting in the right amount that you want to pay, or you have the automated, some of them, it's the same amount every month. So you put that information in and it's so much easier than it used to be. It used to give me anxiety to sit there to have to write all these bills and at one time, and then I have to think about, okay, where did I put everything together? It helps you. Automation helps me personally to organize. So being organized is one of the other side point of automation. So automation of everything. Set your money transfer to go to your brokerage account each month to ensure that your saving is done for retirement. You want to make sure that you're at least, there's about 20% of your money is moved to different investment accounts and different savings accounts. That's the 50-20-30 rule. So you want to make sure you're doing that. If you noticed, if you are a wage employee for your company, you notice that you automate. There's so many things that's already automatically coming out of your check. So you know that maybe your health insurance is coming out, maybe you have a life insurance coming out, your dental, your medical. You might have profit sharing coming out. You have your 401k coming out. You might be buying stock, company stock. All those things are kind of coming out automatically. Those things add up at the end. And when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, I have this much in my 401k. Oh, I own $25,000 of Home Depot stocks. Those, because you've been putting $20, $30, whatever it is per paycheck, and you don't count that money. So if you put it away and you forget it, eventually it adds up. Speaking from experience, that has happened. Looking at my husband's Home Depot stock, I can tell you that it has happened. I automate my credit card bills. I automate my my mortgage bills, my utility bills. You don't want your lights to be cut off. So a lot of times, it's easy to automate that. That does not mean, like I say again, that I'm not checking it. I check my bills every month. I compare it to the next month. I compare it to the month before. I compare it to the year before. I do that a lot with my electricity bill when it comes to Florida. So you want to make sure that, you're looking at your bills, but, automation doesn't get away from you checking your stuff. So make sure you're checking it. You want to know where your money's going. You need to do it, without any intervention. It's automatically done when it's going without any intervention on anybody else's part. So, your paycheck, what's coming in, you're able to budget wisely. You're able to budget in your savings, your retirement savings, your emergency fund savings, your everything. So you want to make sure that you are doing this, automate everything, but also automate your savings. Keep on doing it, because you'll end up accomplishing your financial goals if you divvy up your money and you automate everything. The second thing that I do is I have a separate savings account for my different goals. You guys have heard me say in previous videos, saving for a purpose. I believe that every saving should have a purpose attached to it. So whatever you're doing, I believe you should have a separate account for everything. If you have a college fund, you're saving for that. If you have a vacation fund, you have a separate account. If you have a retirement, you should always have the retirement. Your emergency fund, all those things should be separated. It just helps you to focus on what your goals are with these things. So stuff, if it's separated and it's nicely packaged, then it's not crazy going on in our mind. So we know where it is. We remember what it's for. We put our money in our different savings pots. I call them savings pot of gold. And we're able to simplify our money management that way. So because having a different savings account for a different purpose, of course, I say savings account, use that word loosely. It needs to be put in an account at the rate of inflation or above. So whether it's a savings account, whether it's a money market account, I really don't use savings account unless it's a high yield savings account. Most of the time I'm using money market accounts for these things. So you want to be able to separate that, This is a way that you simplify your stuff. You simplify. It might start off being complicated because you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many accounts. Yes, but there's a purpose. There's rhyme to it, to that reasoning. You have an account for everything that you're doing, and you can check on it each time what your balances are in each account. You know that when you open this, what I do, I can move money. I move my money exactly when it's needed for that different purpose, without having to track on which portion of my savings is earmarked for which emergency funds versus a brand new car. I can easily track along what my accomplishments in these goals are. Where am I in my target for reaching it? Having my bank app helps me do that with the different savings accounts. So for me, I separate the savings account and I earmark it, whether it's vacation, car, home, emergency fund, holiday, retirement, these are all just examples of different accounts that I personally have. So you should open a separate savings account for each one, at least be earning interest in each one of them at the rate of inflation or above. There are many options in today, whether it's internet bank or regular banks or big banks or small banks, there's many options for what you're putting your money in. So for example, if you make a $4,000 vacation once a year, you could open a savings account that you can automate having $333 per month into that account. So you would have the money you need for the trip when the time comes around. I'm always have my vacation fund. Vacation fund is important to me because it's about my quality of life. But I just can't pick up one day and say I'm going to, my life is not like that. I have to plan everything. I can't pick up one day and say, okay, I'm going to go to Europe and I don't have my funds saved up. So I already know we're going on a Greek cruise next summer. And I've already earmarked the fund for that. I've already started planning it. I started budgeting it. I know what I'm doing because that's what my goal is, The third option I would say is stick to as few credit cards as possible, because when you have 5 million credit cards, you don't realize, you forget that you're not your husband has one, you have one, whatever, you're not expecting that bill and you don't have it ready to be paid. The other thing is you want to be able to maximize. If you're a disciplined credit card user, using your credit card to maximize your rewards have greatly improved my travel life. I use my rewards on my credit card for traveling, and I have done this for at least 2 decades. I've done this. I've stayed in Europe. I've stayed in England. I've went skiing on my credit card points. So it's like another savings for me. I'm not going to buy something I don't need just to get the points, but I try to put everything together so I can be on a higher level with my rewards and earn more. You don't want to pay to have a ton of different credit cards and each month you have the bill, nor do you want to, you want to make sure you are actively being cautious about which credit card. Choose one or two, investigate your credit card. There's the points guy out there. My older son is a big investigator of credit cards and knowing what points, which one gets you the most benefit. If you have to pay a monthly fee, a yearly fee, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad credit card. Just compare it to what your benefits are. So investigate your credit card, decide on one or two credit cards that you're going to be using and that's going to benefit you the most according to your lifestyle. So if you're a traveler, you might want to consider what travel credit cards are out there. If you want to have the cash back, you might want to consider the highest credit card with whichever cash back it is. So if you're a air traveler or hotel, you have to consider who you are, what your lifestyle is, and what will benefit you the most, and try to do that. So you don't want to have to manage the dozens of credit cards and have to remember which one is which bonus gives you there. You want to make sure that you pick those great cards, you use them to your ability, and you are using those cards for whatever it is, maximizing your rewards, being disciplined about paying your card, keeping track of what you're doing with the card. So you want to make sure that you're analyzing that before you open a credit card and decide on if that credit card works for your lifestyle. A credit card that might work for my lifestyle might not work for yours. So you want to make sure that that's what you're doing, and as few credit cards as possible. Ultimately, it's up to you how much time you spend managing the different areas of your finance life. But if you want to make it easy, implement these 3 techniques, just basic 3 techniques you start with, and use that to take you towards the next step of controlling your money and not being a servant to your money and having your money serve you. So this is Sharon, the Modern Savvy CPA, and follow these 3 tips on how to start managing your financial life. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, feel free to give me a follow to get updated on new and upcoming episodes, and listen in every Tuesday and Thursday, where I teach you smart money habits so you can make better money choices with a financial goal focus.